Hello and welcome to yet another video. This is the third episode in which the Hokage and the ANBU commander observe Naruto's use of shadow clones that night. The commander recruits the newly graduated Naruto for his forces by guilt-tripping the Hokage. Join Naruto as he becomes Team Ro's fourth member and discover what this means for Naruto's plot. This story is from Theraku 260. Please support her. Please like and subscribe to show your support. Let's get the show started. You call this an advanced storage scroll? Jiraiya mocked his student. Level 3 in sealing was such a milestone because it consisted of not only learning the basics of silencing seals and prisoner scrolls but expanding on everything levels 1 and 2 taught. That meant that once mastered one could make storage scrolls any size, not just the fixed amount from level 1, and exploding tags with larger blast radiuses. After level 3, the next milestone was 6, but at the rate Naruto was going, according to Jiraiya at least, he'd never get there. Jiraiya-sama, it looks fine, Naruto tried to say calmly. This was the 5th try that appeared perfect but Jiraiya tossed in the fail pile. You're an Uzumaki, take pride in it. Jiraiya yelled back. In truth, Naruto's seals were above average and would pass in the Shinobi stores, but Jiraiya wanted perfect so he'd continue to berate his student. Look, just try again, and faster. No seal master should need more than 15 seconds for matrices this simplistic. Yes, Jiraiya-sama. Call me Sensei Gaki. I'm your sensei. You lost that right after yesterday's spar, Naruto growled as he ran through another attempt. His leg was still fusing itself back together from Jiraiya tossing him into a cliff. You're healed. Almost. And no pain no gain. Whatever, you just wanted a punching bag. TSCH, even so, make another one. That try took 22 seconds. As the two continued to banter and throw several more enlarged storage scrolls in a pile, they never noticed Dragon pocketing them. After all, ANBU budget could always use more storage scrolls and he'd teach his young subordinate torture resistance or something as payment. By the end of the day Naruto could finally make any size scroll within the time limit. Over 100 had been discarded. Of course, when the pair looked over they found the pile empty, much to their confusion. A happy Dragon meanwhile was already back in his office with the haul. 2 days later at dawn Naruto and Angel were with Jiraiya in the Forest of Death, nothing but Naruto's sword and several spare explosive tags with them. Jiraiya had snuck into the apartment and dragged him out to the Jinchuriki's least favorite place in the village. Jiraiya-sama, what the hell? My squad comes here often enough already, I hate it here, and that's a problem, Gaki. You're scared of this place, damn right I am. Naruto cut in without remorse. Angel nodded along, having spent a fair amount of time in the place as well. I won't have my student scared of some measly forest. Your captain will be ready to resume your Jinchuriki training in 2 days, until then you will stay here with Angel. To make it more interesting, if you succeed I'll let you sign the Toad contract. All opposition died in both cat and boy's throats at the promise to sign such a contract was worth more than almost anything. Prepare to have that contract ready for us, we'll survive for 2 days. Naruto declared. Yeah. There's no way we'd be killed here, creepy man. Angel chorused. Heh, but there's not just surviving. You two have to defeat the northeast hive of wasp spiders, don't die, okay? And the sage was gone with a cackle. We're going to die, aren't we? Naruto asked as the pair set off. The northeast hive was the largest of the 5 groups of wasp spiders, and made them up, but that would be horrible if they were real. Imagine human-sized flying spiders with wasp stingers. Shivers, said to be the size of a grown man with a wasp-like lower body and spider fangs on the front. True monsters. Naruto only fought a couple at a time in the past while Anko and him gathered their venom for her more lethal poisons. They weren't particularly deadly alone but in a mass hive. Probably. On the bright side, if we do stay alive we'll have the venom of over 24 wasp spiders, enough to make Enko pay our next Ichiraku feast I'll bet. Angel snorted. Think bigger Naruto, I bet she'll finally teach us that really powerful neurotoxin, I could coat my claws in it and watch my enemies twitch to death. The Hell Cat gave a demonic laugh. Naruto's sweat dropped. You know you scare me sometimes. Up in the trees a clone of Jiraiya used his transparent escape technique, the advanced version of the chameleon jutsu taught to ANBU to observe. He obviously wouldn't let the two actually die, just experience near death in a controlled environment. It would be good practice for the wars to come. Reports showed a possible queen in this hive, a nice warm-up for fighting another Jinchuriki. Good luck, my godson. Another pair of eyes followed the young ANBU on his task, and they weren't human. Entrance to the wasp spider cave. Both gulped as the putrid scent permeated from the entrance. Looking at one another the two nod resolutely. Stepping inside Naruto makes for clones to scout ahead and the real one sends chakra to his ears, Angel already preparing her claws. However, the clones keep getting taken out by lone bugs. We'll have to go confront them ourselves seeing as clones won't work to draw them out and I only have a few explosive tags. Naruto informed as the third group of 4 met doom. Not for the first time Naruto contemplated the merits of murdering Jiraiya for his stupidity. Angel bristled. Don't you Fuinjutsu guys just use blood to write seals? The cat hissed slightly, mostly brought in by fear of the cave. Naruto felt anger and shame fire up. Creating seals from blood is level 5. I can't just whip up a bomb from blood yet. Some seal master you are. The cat gave her human friend a smirk. Let's just go. Stupid cats and their expectations. Half a mile through the caves and 6 dead ends later they find it, the main hive. SCRCH, 30 wasp spiders scream at once. Shit. Shadow clone jutsu. Naruto says and 10 clones pop forth as a shield. Retreat. He commanded as the enclosed space spelled certain death. As the pair ran with bursts of chakra Naruto attached his tags to the kunai. Reaching the outside once more Naruto threw the kunai in the air. Release. And they all exploded at once, creating a cloud of smoke to prevent the buggers from flying too high. What started was a fight for survival, and this time it wasn't a spar and no team was there to back them up. Dodging a pincer strike Naruto shunshins to avoid a shot of poison. Angel had grown to a panther-sized, already having 3 of the hive underneath her form. 12 of the creatures dive-bomb him, taking out the clones he'd made. Wind style, drilling air bullets. Naruto said and 6 bursts of wind fly outwards, decimating the horde. Take that, you bastards. Idiot. We need them intact somewhat to extract the venom. Angel shouted from nearby. Oh yeah, oops. Kenjutsu it is then. Inside the forest the trees were massive but interconnected, making a shunshin battle with unintelligent bugs not that difficult. The real danger came in their poison, one sting, or thrown glop and you were paralyzed for days, meaning you died. Even Naruto wasn't immune. Blade met stinger from one of the larger ones in the trees. Summoning wind chakra the stinger got cut in half, Naruto being careful not to damage the venom sac stored near the upper thorax. Screech was the warning and a Kawarimi with a clone saved him from a 3-wasp dive bomb. Now, Angel, attack move twin death cats. Using Naruto's ability to transform 2 hell cats leapt high into the air and pounced on the trio of wasp, tearing through them with claws. Eventually the move would include jutsu but for now the claws were enough. Use my power. I don't need it though, there's less than 5 left just take it. Kurama sounded frantic. Worried Naruto drew on have a tail's worth. Kaboom. The forest floor exploded with chunks of rock hurtling through the air, a stray one taking out Jiraiya's startled shadow clone. Crap. Angel, said Cat, was flung against a tree. Rising from the dust was a wasp spider half the size of the legendary Gamabunta. Covering the entire body was a hard shell that not even the tons of earth could impale. That's not good, Naruto muttered as he caught his unconscious partner, gashes apparent and a broken hind leg guaranteed. A shadow clone appears next to him. Take her to Hana quickly, he ordered. As the clone took off he turned to his opponent, obviously the queen. The wasp spider spurts a volley of the toxin at him. Weaving in and out of the globs of familiar orb forms. Rasengan. He shouts, unable to stay quiet in his rage as red chakra bubbles around his form and eyes slit. It hits a steel-hard fang, breaking it off before Naruto is blown off. Using the momentum he bounces back off the tree and barrels through a wing, a known weak spot, cutting it in half. Pivoting, he bares his claws at the armored back of the queen trying to take off. Yokai-enhanced claws meet the shell, tearing into it with feral rage though it doesn't penetrate. Another Rasengan grinds into it to create a hole that claws immediately impaled the opening. An inhuman scream fills the forest and echoes into the village. Dragon had already activated an ANBU squad the moment he felt the Kyuubi chakra burst forward suddenly. He knew Jiraiya's idea was foolish when he heard of it not an hour before and they would have words later and quickened his own pace at the roar. Heh, take this. Naruto snarled and did a downward slice with jagged wind chakra flowing cut the beast deep on the thorax. Unfortunately the sword struck the sack, and a river of the toxin doused Naruto. Falling off the dying beast's body, unable to move, Naruto passed out as Kurama's chakra went away, hurtling headfirst towards the ground. His sword clambered off to the side. Naruto! Kurama yelled as his chakra faded. When ANBU arrived minutes later though, they didn't find their comrade in a bloody smear on the floor. He wasn't anywhere. No scent led away or chakra signature to light a path. ANBU agent Mouse had just vanished. Search the forest now. Dragon commanded, he himself aiding. Jiraiya poofed next to him. Damn, Gaki did great, to take out a queen by himself. Knew he could do it, he was stopped when he looked at Dragon's eye holes boring into him as if he was an insignificant bug. Leave this forest before I kill you, and I assure you I could as every ANBU would back me up on this. I will deal with your incompetence later. And the ANBU commander was gone, leaving a gulping toad sage behind. Next morning. Naruto groaned, his whole body numb. He couldn't even open his eyes. What happened? You took enough of that creature's venom to kill Boss Summons. I don't even know how we're alive as it cut me off from you. It doesn't smell like a hospital. I can't sense any human chakra signatures. No negative intent is directed towards you either. Kurama added. Naruto did a mental take back, unaware that Kurama could do such a thing. I'm surprised you're awake so soon, young one. A male voice filled with age spoke somewhere to the side of him. He couldn't move, but found his voice worked. Where am I? He asked the darkness. The voice chuckled good-naturedly. In the tiger and panther territory, our healers sucked the poison out before it could absorb into your body. Your tenant took care of the rest. Naruto stiffened at the last part. Calm yourself, I mean you no harm. You said, tiger and panther. What does that mean? Child, you're in the summoning realm, my granddaughter brought you here, impressed with your battle while on her routine patrol of the area. Defeating a queen, even one hindered by the environment and still in her infant stages, is quite a feat. As for what it means. Well, the council is deciding that now. Hibiki-sama, the council made a decision, the boy is deemed worthy. A younger voice cut off Naruto's question. Ah, excellent. What do? You'll find out when you next awaken. For now, sleep and an overwhelming tiredness took him. Sleep jutsu. Naruto realized, not strong enough to stay awake. Now that he's asleep. What about the toads? Hibiki looked at the young panther in front of him. Hibiki, known for his genjutsu that focused on confusing his opponents back in his youth, and, still shudder at that word lol, was a rather stern elder. The young feline shifted. The council decided we would fight to the last cat on both clans for the boy. He's been marked as our summoner. Hibiki nodded in approval. Good. Anyone who tries anything can answer to me. The younger cat shuddered slightly. Nobody wanted to mess with Hibiki the Echo Death, even Manda was wary of the unusually small but deadly panther. 12 hours later. When Naruto awoke again he felt almost normal. Nice to see you're awake again. Hibiki said. Naruto looked over, a panther speckled with gray though the size suggested a teenager, stared back. Naruto recognized the voice again. Hibiki? Yes, it is I. And I'm the one who saved you, Blondie. A rather female voice joined in. Another panther the same size piped up, sitting next to a rather large white tiger. Thank you. Naruto tried. He was still trying to process the situation. As he sat up he realized his shirt and mask were missing. Hibiki noticed. Your torso was soaked through with the queen's toxin they're currently burning in a bonfire. Now, I believe it's time to get down to business. Business? Yes, child, you've become our next summoner. The tiger lifted a banner saying, "Congrats," at Hibiki's praise. Welcome to the clan, I'm Akira, and this is Hisoka. He doesn't talk much. Or really at all now that I think about it, the newly named Akira greeted. Hisoka bowed his head, eyes lazy like a certain cyclops. Oh. Well, I was going to sign the Toad contract too late. We already claimed you, just sign your name in blood, Akira said much too cheerfully for Naruto's taste. She reminded him of his Hyuga teammate, and that wasn't a compliment, one Hikaru was enough. But I should get a say in this. He cried indigently. A tick appeared on Akira's head. I saved you from an uncool death by falling. You will sign this and me and Hisoka will be your familiars. Or else. The voice was sweet but Naruto understood the underlying tone all females mastered at an early age, surrender or die. Hisoka sat silently and attempted an intimidating gaze but failed miserably. I'd love to be the Tiger and Panther clan summoner. Heh. Whipped by every female, pathetic. Shut it. Good. Before you go back to your village you need to understand the joint clan's history. Why do I feel like this will be worse than Tenzo's lectures? Naruto muttered. Later, Hokage Tower. The Panthers reversed summoned him in front of the tower hours later in a cloak, Hisoka and Akira next to him. They'd already checked on Angel who'd be released tomorrow. Morning. Well Naruto, make sure to summon us often. I expect you to let me play at the next poker night you told us about. Akira said. Right. I thought summoners were the boss. Silly. Where did that stupid notion come from? Even Hisoka's sweat dropped at that. Naruto shook his head and waved goodbye. With a gulp he stepped into the tower. Going missing for 2 days wasn't exactly protocol for both a Jinchuriki and ANBU. There was probably a small panic, he mused. Turned out there was a massive panic in the council room. On his way to the Hokage's office Yugao dropped down in ANBU gear and gave him a crushing hug. Thank God you're okay, where were you? Your chakra couldn't be sensed and your scent disappeared. Naruto gasped. Senpai need oxygen. She let him go and he sighed. Sorry, but I kind of got saved by a summoning clan and, save it mouse. You're needed in the council chambers, Dragon's voice came from nowhere. Nodding the pair followed the commander. Dragon wouldn't admit it but he was relieved. If Naruto hadn't shown up when he did Dragon would have killed the Toad Sage where he sat in the chambers. Most of the clan heads and the elders felt the same way. Dragon couldn't remember a time where the Hokage had to hold himself back so much to keep from killing somebody. As the trio re-entered in Dragon's case, the Shinobi Council chambers, everyone visibly relaxed, even if Naruto still looked pale and was in a tattered cloak. Jiraiya gave a sheepish grin and wave. "Hey Gaki, glad you survived. Nice outfit by the way, very rugged. It came from my summons, my shirt and mask were doused in the toxins and I almost died. 3 times according to Hibiki-sama." Naruto added the last part and Jiraiya winced. "Yeah, sorry. I guess you weren't ready to fight a queen yet, though no harm done, you're alive." He chuckled. "Wait, summons? You're only allowed to sign the toads. I signed the joint Tiger and Panther contract and there's nothing to be done. They saved me and they're well versed in genjutsu, medical jutsu, and combat, all things I could use." Jiraiya huffed. "I've never heard of them. I'll bet they're second rate. Your father would want you to sign his contract, annul your contract now," he ordered. Naruto grew a tick mark, but it was the Hokage who snapped. "Jiraiya, need I remind you that you're on thin ice? Putting a Jinchuriki in unneeded harm without supervision so close to the village, I had a shadow clone watching, that popped before it had a chance to help. Now, you left him and his feline companion who isn't ready to fight Genin yet, much less a queen wasp spider, alone without all his equipment or backup. There were plans to deploy 2 Chunin squads to clear the hive out safely before the exams and Naruto could have joined in there for experience. But you decided that setting him loose there was an acceptable course of action without informing anyone until after he entered the cave. Jiraiya. That folly could be called treason by some. And then demanding him to break a sacred bond with a new clan that could benefit Konoha simply for pride? The clan heads glared daggers at the Sannin. Konoha had around 10 contract, and adding an 11th one that was so well balanced would be a boon, especially when Naruto one day took on a student or had a family and passed it to them. Jiraiya had the intelligence to look apologetic. "If the Jinchuriki had died we'd have a Biju to fight on our doorstep within 5 years, Danzo added. "Sorry, it's just his father is dead." "My father is dead, Jiraiya-sama, and while I enjoy learning from you the same things he did, I am not a carbon copy that you seem to want despite your claims. The toad contract should go to another worthy Konoha ninja. I can think of several in ANBU already, or you could choose one of the soon-to-be academy graduates. I didn't question you on dropping me in the forest, but from what I just heard I should have." Naruto was disappointed in the man supposed to be his godfather. Why had his parents thought the guy would make an acceptable replacement family? Almost killing him for training by having him take an A-rank level unofficial mission? Talk about irresponsible. Well said, Naruto. Why don't you tell us exactly what happened in the forest and beyond? Sarutobi interlaced his fingers as he said it, hiding the pleased smile. Naruto had willingly told his old student to pick another Konoha ninja that spoke of his character, as some would try to gain a second contract or just leave the matter to fester. Well, it all started when Angel and I were dragged out of bed and given 10 seconds to grab our gear, though Jiraiya only let me take my sword, some kunai, and a few explosive notes. Speaking of which, it was recovered and repaired. That last cut cracked the metal hard as it is to believe. Sarutobi interjected. Naruto beamed, then continued, the council becoming more impressed by the minute. "So let me get this straight, the Tiger and Panther clan, which merged less than 25 years ago after centuries of bloody conflict that almost wiped them out but now work side by side in flawless teamwork, saved you from certain death and decided you would be the first summoner since they became one clan. And this was after you beat a queen through luck and circumstance, and before that wiped out just about the entire hive of the northeast sector," Sarutobi stated dryly an hour later. Naruto hadn't dived into the intricate history or abilities of his summons, but that was allowed to protect the summons and summoner from enemies that might uncover the intel. Besides, he already planned to fill in Dragon for the ANBU-only archives. All of those files were harder to steal than the Hokage mountain, it seemed. Yes, Hokage-sama. My summons look forward to allying with Konoha while my familiars insist on joining in the next poker game. Some chuckles echoed at that, but many nodded the okay. And Kurama says I'm practically immune to the wasp spiders now, not that I want to test it. Some of the minor clans looked a bit scared at Naruto being on first-name basis with the beast, but Sarutobi didn't bat an eye. Of course. Take tomorrow off. In 2 days Tenzo will restart your mastering of your Jinchuriki powers. In the meantime read this scroll before our next meeting, and a thick scroll appeared out of nowhere and bonked the blonde on the head. Not reacting as his commander was next to him and might take offense to him cursing their boss, he bowed before shining away. Sarutobi then dismissed everyone else but the elders, Dragon, and Jiraiya. Am I still his teacher? Jiraiya asked with some hope. Koharu slid her eyes over to him, and Danzo wished the man had let someone sign the Toad contract, he could kill him then. Yes, but... Sarutobi stopped the grin on Jiraiya's face. We'll discuss additional punishment, but for now you are to have your sessions with Naruto monitored by either Dragon, Tenzo, myself, or anyone I deem trustworthy. You have no say in what you teach him besides Fuinjutsu, though I trust he'll be at least a solid level 4 by the Chunin exams, even his mother's Fujutsu that you know. Jiraiya looked indignant. I was going to start him on the hair jutsu this week, he started. No, I won't allow that until this mess with Suna and Oto is taken care of. Until then continue to work on his Rasengan. I know you can create it quicker so he can too, the 5-element seal, and your transparent escape technique. The taijutsu training you put him through is useful, but focus on Fuinjutsu, chakra control, and ninjutsu for now. Sarutobi put his no-nonsense voice on that Jiraiya hated since his genin days, causing the S-rank Sannin to meekly agree like he was 6 again and just got schooled for his attitude. Yes, sensei. Hiruzen, is it really wise to show Naruto the 5-element seal? He is a Jinchuriki after all, and the seal is useful to subdue him. Koharu pointed out. Ah, but he won't be learning the unsealing method yet. Once he masters the entirety of the fox's chakra, I'll allow him to know the unseal jutsu. Mollified, the elders gave curt nods. Now Jiraiya, you have a year to pick out a new toad summoner. Sarutobi warned. But sensei, Naruto is the child of prophecy, I can feel it. That doesn't mean he needs your summoning contract. I am well aware you view him as an apprentice, if only you'd make it official, Jiraiya griped. The Hokage refused to sign off on the paperwork for some reason. Sarutobi chuckled a bit. It's not me you have to convince, but his captain and commander. They have say over Naruto as he's an ANBU operative, and having an apprenticeship could take away from his duties after the exams. You're the Hokage. You could sign off, but I won't. Jiraiya, I have let you, all of my students, become whiny brats that get slaps on the wrist for major infractions. If you were anyone else tonight you would be at the very least in Ibiki's company. Be grateful that isn't the case. Jiraiya-sama, you will never be Mouse's mentor if you insist on acting like you are with a genin. I spy on your sessions, and you waste precious time joking around and peeping. It's research and I am bonding with my godson. Jiraiya shot back to the man. Dragon looked at him, and even the mask seemed to send a cool expression. You're an instructor first. If you can't maximize your time with him, I will have you write the jutsu on scrolls and let him learn them himself. There are plenty of guard rotations he could fill up. My men are valuable, and wasting his time when the village needs everybody is foolhardy. Sarutobi and the elders nodded, Danzo especially agreeing with the ANBU commander. While they still had a too soft handle on the Jinchuriki, the boy was at least progressing reasonably fast. Danzo found himself wondering what could have happened if the boy had always been properly trained, so much time wasted for childhood. At least he was a solider now. Fine. I will find another summoner the toads will accept. Even if he really just wanted to have his toad-eat dragon. Next day, in Izuka Clinic. Gazing fondly at his partner Naruto bowed again to Hana. Thank you so much, Hana-san. I know cats are not your favorite. This was the third time he thanked her but still felt it wasn't enough. Angel had a punctured lung that could have killed her had Hana not been a competent vet. It's fine. I told you, it was my pleasure. It's the least I could do after how you helped me that night, though I didn't expect you of all people to be Mouse. Just remember, pup, that your feline can't train for a week and bed rest for 2 days. Be safe, Angel. Don't go fighting wasp spiders anytime soon. Angel didn't answer as the drugs to dull the pain were keeping her under. She wouldn't be answering for at least a day. Well, thanks anyway. And please don't spread it around. The council just found out themselves a while ago. I'd rather less figure it out. Of course. Your ANBU identity won't be compromised by me, though if Angel is going to go on missions you'll have to think of something. Naruto winked. Already on it once my Fuinjutsu skills are adequate. The masked boy cradled the cage with the snoozing Hellcat as he strolled back into the village. He'd take the rooftops or Shunshin but the jostling could harm her. Putting on a henge while passing an alley, the now black-haired brown-eyed Naruto blended into the crowd. With the slightly dark thought about how a simple henge made him human to the civilians, he clenched his fists and made his way back home. After Angel was set up on the couch with a sunbeam, Naruto made 2 shadow clones and began to comb through the water jutsu scroll the Hokage hit him with. Moving whirlpools creates 4 defensive whirlpools that can absorb attacks and acts as a barrier. Defensive, A rank. What? I can't even do C ranks without wasting too much chakra until that damn waterfall is controlled. It's an Uzumaki jutsu. Your mother used it. It's mainly for Fuinjutsu users to be given respite while crafting seals, but she managed to make it offensive. Naruto's furry friend yawned at its container. Wow, Kurama. Though you might want to hold off on that one. Instead, read the next one. Kurama offered lazily. Water Wild Wave. C rank, water comes out in a burst from the user's mouth. And it doesn't need a set amount of chakra, the user controls the size. That could work. I'm a wise fox, of course it will work. As the real one continued on reading all about his chosen next jutsu to learn, his other selves were busy. One clone sat with sealing supplies. Dragon had dropped off with a note of, make as many of the expanded exploding tags as you can with these by tomorrow. So far, the number was in the 50s with no sign of running out. The other clone sat opposite, counting the money they had saved up. Like most shinobi, Naruto didn't trust banks. He could easily rob one, so he had no reason to trust one with his money. Instead, he kept them in storage scrolls, one in his locker at HQ for missions, one in his apartment locked under floorboards and traps, with the bulk of his money at his captain's place for safekeeping. His Gamachan was just pocket change, hardly a dent in his savings from all the missions lately. After he checked on Tenzo and they went over how his battle with all the wasp spiders went, Naruto had requested it back for the afternoon. Now said clone was counting carefully, adding the double A rank pay for his extermination of the hive and payment for letting Enko harvest the poison herself, and whistled at the result. Boss, we have enough to last 6 months without missions and still go restock our stuff. The real Naruto breathed a sigh of relief at that. He had enough then to pay for more Fuinjutsu paper and ink, and still have leftovers for new clothes. An improved diet finally resulted in a growth spurt, even if it was a measly inch. His uniform still fit for the most part, and those were free issue though. Knock, knock went the door. Setting the book down, he leapt over the growing stack of tags and answered the door, surprised when Jiraiya and Dragon are there. Jiraiya-sama, Dragon-sama. He greeted with annoyance. Wasn't this supposed to be his day off? Mouse/Gaki, they answered simultaneously. Dragon seemed to send daggers at his fellow visitor before taking over. Jiraiya-sama is going to give you Fuinjutsu lesson as he has free time. I am here to supervise and collect the tags I ordered. Naruto looked from his commander to his tutor/bad role model/sort of godfather, and realization dawned. You got caught peeping again, didn't you? He deadpanned. Jiraiya looked affronted. It's research. Spell it with me, research, research. Hokage-sama thought since he had so much free time he'd have no trouble continuing your lessons. That, and I threatened to send Guy on him otherwise. An involuntary shudder went up Naruto's spine. As Jiraiya pushed past and went into the apartment, Naruto's expression became curious. Guy is on a mission though, I know, but it's too much fun to tell him that. Dragon signed back, and amusement was obvious. Suppressing a snort, Naruto turned towards his tutor. What are we learning today? His excitement for more Fuinjutsu surpassed his need to tease Jiraiya for his cowardice, no matter how well founded. Oh, just how to make those prisoner scrolls you keep hammering for. Stars formed in Naruto's eyes. Finally, Team Ro's hard-earned budget wouldn't suffer. Prisoner scrolls, the preferred way to transport enemies for incarceration and interrogation across large distances, was a combination of a stasis seal and advanced storage seal that would freeze the body's functions for up to a week by running on the user's chakra, though it used such a small amount that even enemies on their last legs could be sealed, and comrades could be put into it too, though the cost prevented that. For every scroll cost a small fortune and could only be used once or twice depending on the length of stay before it had to be tossed. Yatta, he cheered. Jiraiya looked fondly, then puzzled. Wait, why are you so interested in this particular seal when it's cumbersome and time-consuming to make? Prisoner scrolls took over 10 minutes to write even for masters, and 30 for those of Naruto's skill level, technically a level 3, many just went over the theory of it and didn't bother to create them before level 5. Ever since Odo has bared its fangs, ANBU's already meager budget for individual teams has been reduced to fund the preparations for the exams. For the price of one prisoner scroll, which may I remind you the Black Ops uses a lot, I can make 10 out of Fuinjutsu supplies. Lives could be saved, as transporting both injured squad members and clients through enemy territory is dangerous, and sometimes the squad member has to use our suicide technique, as most squads carry one at any time. With me, I can have my clones make enough for each team to have at least 3 at any time. Jiraiya looked impressed and proud. You'll make a killing off of it, I'll bet. He joked though. Naruto shook his head though. No, Hokage-sama will designate enough for my cost of supplies, and I'll be given a C rank pay for every 30 I make. Won't be hard with clones. It'll give me experience and help out the Corps until the budget is back to some normalcy. Using this method could save several agents, as they wouldn't have to decide before missions whether more kunai, medical supplies, or expensive but life-saving seals should be bought. Contrary to civilian thought, each permanent squad, be it a genin team to the top ANBU team, was allotted certain funds from the village each month for supplies. This would theoretically cover the cost of mission-specific supplies and most of the basic gear, in theory. However, since the Kyuubi attack, the Civilian Council has gotten more influence over taxes and pricing, making the allotted budget become less and less all-inclusive. More and more ninja were having to dip into their mission pay just to get the needed supplies to survive the various missions outside the village. Thus Dragon's plan to use Naruto's ungodly amount of clones to outfit the Corps in the needed seals, even if it was only until after all this mess with allies turning traitor with Orochimaru blew over. Not to mention all the one-on-one training you'll get from me as payment, Dragon pointed out, much to Naruto's horror. The commander chuckled at the ghost white of his subordinate/punching bag/student. Well, that's noble gaki. Now the first thing one must know about prisoner scrolls are the combination ratios of the ink, chakra, and space between each character. Jiraiya began. Naruto took notes studiously. As the pair drawled on, Dragon found himself relegated to the couch with Angel, though the feline was no help and snoozed. Man, if only Hikaru wasn't playing sensei with Kakashi's brats today, I could be catching up on the Aika or sparring with the Hokage. Sigh, the things I do for the village. Course, Dragon would stay until the Toad taught Naruto the scroll. He couldn't have him attempt to run off after giving a basic explanation after all. Though if Fuinjutsu wasn't so boring to normal people, Dragon might not find it tempting to pull his hair out while perusing through a budget report. Gaki. Not so much chakra, do you want to blow up your table? With Team 7. Hikaru was ready to slit his team's throats. Or rather, just Sasuke's. I should be learning jutsu, not stamina exercises. The Uchiha fumed. Hikaru rolled his eyes, while Sakura practiced healing bruises on Sai from training. Both ignored their teammate, whose attitude had soured worse since Hikaru took over again. Kakashi was due back any day, however, and then the ANBU agent would be free for a while. If only the Cyclops would hurry. No. You are not ready, loyalty and stability-wise, for more jutsu and basic skill. Your rival Naruto uses primarily the Shanshin, weapons, and a couple of other jutsu to fight, that and his Rasengan, but the brat doesn't need to know that. Continue the basics, apply teamwork, and you'll beat the strongest of opponents. Sasuke glowered at him but resumed the obstacle course they had set up. If he would just prove he wouldn't defect at the first signs of power, I and many others would love to teach him scores of jutsu. However, until that day he isn't even allowed to have access to genjutsu or ninjutsu over C rank. Not even his family library gives him them, as it's controlled by the Hokage. Let's take a break. Hikaru offered as Sasuke failed the fourth time to finish the course as his anger took over. Just 2 more days or so. Naruto lay on the earth, woodbines covering him while he panted. Skin was slowly regrowing as even the 15 seconds in the 4 tails equated to his outer skin burning off. 4 tails is obviously too much for now. We'll go slow then and build up from the bottom until we figure out why 4 tails had that violent of a reaction. Tenzo said from his sitting position. Jiraiya was off to the side. Naruto nodded in agreement, but the sage frowned. He could control that much with practice. Jiraiya claimed. It was his idea to make Naruto ask Kurama for more chakra than the 1.5 tails he could use at any time without problems. The result? A mini-Kyuubi Naruto letting off a primal roar and almost ripping Tenzo's throat out. Why can't I control 4 tails? He asked Kurama. The fox grunted. You haven't passed the next stage. Until then 3 tails will be your max. What's the next stage? I won't tell you at this point. Kurama growled. Naruto scowled. Why not? You're not ready and you're most definitely not worthy. What do I have to do then, that I'm not sure? Now leave me alone, human. Naruto winced at that slightly. When Kurama went to human, he was on his breaking point, only flesh bag or damn human were worse. Deciding to let the fox cool from whatever had him in a bad mood, Naruto turned towards his bickering teachers. And I say that if I loosen the seal he'd be able to use more tails without the backlash. No. To do so would be foolish. Naruto is my responsibility and the Hokage wouldn't approve of messing with the seal. Tenzo barked back. He should force the power and will it to him, not succumb to its rage. It's not the seal that's at fault but his resolve, I'd say. What would you know? Kushina-sama only accessed a tail's worth of chakra in the most dire of circumstances and Konoha has never trained another Jinchuriki. Our spies are digging on any information of how Kyumo does it, but until then we proceed with caution. Listen, boy, I'm a seal master so it would be fine, and I'm his captain who says no, well I'm his godfather, hardly, his family is his squad, not a man who abandoned him. Silence rang out from that last statement. Jiraiya looked as if he was struck while Tenzo fumed at the man's audacity to suggest tampering with the most complex seal in existence. Naruto takes the silence as his chance to speak. Kurama says I have to pass the next stage, whatever that means. And? What is this next stage? Tenzo prompted. He won't say, I'm not worthy yet or something. Sigh, 3 tails in control is still impressive, you're almost as fast as Guy with his weights on using 3 tails. 4 was blinding though I couldn't gauge it. Take the rest of the day to rest, tomorrow we'll start refining your control of the tails. Naruto nodded then turned to his sort of teacher in pity. The man was trying, he knew it, it's just he kept failing spectacularly. Hey, Jiraiya-sama, want to get something to eat? He asked. Jiraiya looked up hopefully then grinned. Of course, Gaki. Fish, my treat. He slings the blonde over his right shoulder. Naruto groaned as his torn muscles and patched skin howl. First though, let's pick up Angel from the apartment. Naruto said. Humph, okay, but I'm only paying for you too. In the end Naruto's familiars join in as well. Hisoka sat lazily, inhaling mass quantities of salmon while Akira chatted with a still bandaged Angel. I'm telling you, by the time we're through you'll be the strongest Hellcat alive. Akira assured the young feline. Angel looked down at her casted leg. I was so weak, I couldn't do more than take out a few bugs while Naruto was left to take care of the queen by himself. Ever since she had woken up and discovered her partner had been left alone, the cat couldn't stand herself and her weakness. I agree, you are weak. Angel sputtered at this, and everyone else but Hisoka had dropped jaws. But that's why I'm here. You're looking at the number 1 assassin panther in my generation, with me by your side you'll be kicking ass and taking names. Trust me. Hisoka rolled his eyes at this but continued to eat. The kitten would learn or die trying. Hey though, why are you with Naruto now? I mean, Hellcats don't normally venture into the human world until they're 5 or 6 years old or older, you're only 2. Naruto perked his ears at this. He'd tried fishing information from Angel about her past but aside from an occasional comparison of customs he'd yet to uncover a smidgen about his partner. Angel shifted. It's in the past. Let's just say Konoha is my first home and leave it at that. Panther and Tiger share a look. Sure thing. Forget I asked. Now tell me, boxers or briefs? The 180 has Jiraiya letting out a boisterous laugh while Naruto gaped. Naruto? Oh, he wears, Naruto covers Angel's mouth. Keep quiet and we eat sushi tomorrow, deal? Angel nods fast in glee. Akira, why do you want to know that anyway? Oh, the clan just wants a complete profile on our summoners for the history books. She says offhandedly. And my underwear is important enough for the historical records? Oh yes, the toads parade around everything about their summoners so we want to do the same next clan's convention. Naruto's sweat dropped and Jiraiya interrupted. Clan's convention? Huh? You didn't know? Akira asks in disbelief. Even Naruto looked a bit surprised, he was told about the clan's convention before he returned. Well, it's basically where all the different clans that are allied together meet once a year to discuss treaties, world news, and generally brag about whose summoner is the best. So far the blasted toads win because of you, but no more. When we announce we have Naruto as our summoner, all will bow before our greatness. She cackled slightly. Naruto cleared his throat. Jiraiya-sama can kill me with a single finger, Akira, I think I can't make them bow before you. Yet. Jiraiya nodded along. No way his godson could one-up him yet. Details. Within a couple of years you'll be the next Sannin, and people will gossip not of toads, slugs, or snakes, but of tigers and panthers. Naruto shook his head and let it go as he popped another fish in his mouth. Kaka and I. Angel suddenly exclaimed. Kakashi popped in and batted the cat away, who was caught by a glaring Naruto. Senpai, she's injured. he admonished. Kakashi waved his hand. Ma, my hand must have slipped. I hear you defeated a queen wasp spider. Oh, did you adopt more cats? The masked Jonin asked tightly. Nope, Kakashi relaxed. They're my summons. Kakashi-senpai, meet Akira the panther and Hisoka the tiger. Kakashi dropped his book. But I wanted you to sign the dog contract. He whispered. Heh, well I was going to sign the toads actually, but Akira kind of threatened me to become the first summoner of the joint clan. Kakashi turned his lone eye and glared at the panther. You stole my chance at a mini-me. He pointed an accusatory finger at her. Akira smirked. And if I did? Whatcha gonna do, tough guy? She taunted. I'll show you tough. What kind of panther is a pipsqueak? Oh. I'll have you know my pipsqueak status is a family trait. My grandfather was famous for it and his techniques. You wanna fight? Name a time and place, guys, can't we just get along? Naruto begged. When they ignored him he banged his masked face on the table. Jiraiya had taken this opportunity to slip out, leaving the bill next to Naruto. Both him and Angel eyed the bill with distaste. Bastard. Let's see how he likes his favorite peeping spot location told to Kurenai-san. Cat and boy smirked at that thought. Humph, Training Ground 7, Felines vs Canines. Akira announced. Come Naruto, let's go represent the clan. Be there in half an hour. Kakashi agreed. Naruto groaned and Akira grew a tick mark. Oi. You come willingly or I'll show you the true meaning of pain. Somewhere in rain, a certain Uzumaki Rinnegan user sneezed. No need. I'll just lose though, Kakashi-senpai outclasses me. He pointed out as they made their way towards the designated place for their little war. Angel relaxed in his arms and would be sitting out for the fight. On their way they run into Hikaru. Chibi Kohai. Kakashi-senpai is finally back. I'm free, free as a bird, Hikaru cried. Let's go celebrate with sake and women. 1. I'm too young for that stuff, you're legally an adult, who is technically on call and must stay sober, and I have a spar with Kakashi-senpai in a few minutes. It's cats versus dogs. And where is this spar? Training Ground 7.y. He asked but his older teammate was off in a shunshin. Right. Nice talking to you too. Minutes later, Training Ground 7. Naruto was a bit shocked and he entered the training grounds to find not only Kakashi stretching but at least 50 Jonin ANBU around with Hikaru. Taking bets. Even the Hokage was slipping some money while Jiraiya stood in the middle. Excellent, witnesses to document his defeat, Akira says from atop Hisoka. The tiger didn't show an ounce of enthusiasm for the fight but then again Naruto suspected a lifetime supply of tuna wouldn't break the facade much. The clearing goes silent moments later. Dragon appears next to Naruto and takes Angel. Win or you're on Konohamaru duty for a month, Dragon threatened. Naruto gulped. Deciding then and there to get serious he motioned for the referee. Jiraiya steps forth and avoids Naruto's gaze. If he'd look, he'd have seen the mischievous glint though as the blonde was looking forward to his revenge. This will be an all-out spar, anything but killing and maiming and no Kyuubi chakra or Sharingan. The fight continues until one of the summoners are unable to fight or surrenders. Ready? Kakashi nods and pulls out a book in a bored fashion while Naruto stays still with multiple kunai in hand. Fight! The fighters shunshin further apart while Naruto throws the normal kunai near Kakashi using wind chakra to lengthen their range. They land around in what looks like a miss. Summoning jutsu. Were the twin phrases, Naruto pumping as much chakra as he could outside of calling the bosses, and Kakashi getting his usual pack out. When the smoke settles Kakashi's dogs are growling and ready for battle and Pakken showed none of his usual easiness. Naruto meanwhile was in the middle of about 10 panthers of various sizes and 5 tigers taller than his chin. The favorite to win is Kakashi-senpai, Dragon-sama, Hikaru comments from the sidelines. Dragon eyes his Hyuga subordinate. True, but Mouse will win, and thus make me a killing. Hikaru didn't bother to argue, just silently contemplated all the money he was going to make when his Kohai lost. Even Hikaru didn't stand a chance. Then again, as he saw Naruto among the mass of felines, he couldn't shake the feeling his judgment could be wrong. Naruto, why have you summoned my entire joint assassination force before training with us like planned? Isn't my granddaughter enough? Hibiki questioned as he was in the middle of paperwork when he felt the pull. My apologies, Hibiki-sama, but Akira wants us to beat Kakashi-senpai and his dog summons. I don't stand a chance alone. Naruto explained. Hibiki turned his gaze to the Jonin and his dogs. Very well, listen up every cat. Let's show those mutts who's boss. All the assembled felines crouched down and hiss. He whispers the plan to Naruto and the others before raising his voice. Now attack. Immediately 3 of the smaller panthers get in a triangle formation at the center and cast a genjutsu, the others darting forward in an interlocking pattern, weaving through the dogs that sprung in a diamond formation. Naruto makes 30 clones who jump towards Kakashi. Naruto, I thought I taught you better than to jump in so quickly. He mocks while thumbing through his book. With a single hand he dispatches the clones with deadly ease, barely paying attention to the boy. One clone began throwing kunai, which Kakashi flung away while others landed near his feet. You'll have to try harder, I am a Jonin after all. Suddenly Kakashi wasn't so confident when 3 of the kunai strewn around randomly poofed to become 3 of the tigers. Shit! Why do they know the Kawarimi? He grumbled and whipped through hand signs. Fire style, fire dragon jutsu, and a dragon of flames rises up and roars, before it hits the tigers dead on. Naruto's going to kill me. I killed his summons. I thought they'd dodge. Kakashi freaked as he saw the 3 burnt to a crisp. He felt reality warp though, and the tigers became nothing more than wisps of air, with Naruto clones where all the kunai were, though Kakashi realized they must have been henges. Even his dogs were tied up with wire from the tigers and several panthers. This wouldn't have been a problem except his panther familiar, Akira, clutched his precious pre-released Ika from a safe distance with explosive notes attached. The real Naruto stood next with a familiar hand sign poised. Give up, Kakashi-senpai, or your signed copy goes boom and you'll have wait a month for the actual book to come out, as Jiraiya-sama gave out the others. The blonde taunted. Kakashi instantly dropped. I concede. Give me back my precious. He demanded as the other ANBU and Jonin sweat dropped. Winner, Naruto and felines. Jiraiya announced. Now give back his literature. The clearing was silent that Naruto, a rookie, was able to beat the copy ninja, no matter how underhanded. Sure thing. Check your pouch. Naruto suggested as the book disappeared in smoke. Kakashi gaped as he reached inside and did indeed feel his precious safely on his person. You tricked me. He pointed a shaking finger at Naruto, who just gave a victory sign. Why, of course. I am a ninja. You were so cocky that you didn't notice the 3 cats that hung back to hit you with a genjutsu that first made you not notice your dogs, and a second one that led you to believe my tigers were attacking. The kunai I threw were a mixture of real and hinged shadow clones to throw you off and let down your guard. It worked, as I won. I couldn't knock you out but threatening you into submission? That, I can do. Kakashi hugged his book before leaving in an embarrassed manner, glad that guy wasn't there. Tell me we have that on tape. Hikaru announced after the copy ninja left. Enko held a video camera high into air. Every last second. Sniggers were heard throughout the crowd. Now pay up, Hikaru. I bet on Kakashi losing, so where's my money? It was then most ninja realized they'd lost a fair amount of cash, all except Dragon, the Hokage, Anko, and Genma. Tenzo, standing off to the side, shook his head as they reacted with various degrees of melancholy. Genma snorts at his fellows. Didn't you guys learn? Never bet against Naruto, it won't end well. Yeah, but he was going against Sharingan freaking Kakashi, how were we supposed to know he'd try something like that? One random jonin cried indignantly. Naruto, who had just finished bowing and thanking his summons, walked over. Oh, I don't know, maybe because I was a master at pranks and my traps are top-notch? Naruto asked. Shaking his head at the stupidity of them betting on a spar, even more so was Akira's insistence on winning. He takes Angel from Dragon, who was holding a sack of money. Excellent mouse, I won't have to give you Konohamaru duty for a month, he praised. Naruto relaxed. Unfortunately, I don't have a punching bag tonight for my workout and you just proved you can take on Kakashi. Let's go. What? No fair. It was luck I won and I just got through training with my captain. Naruto begged, only for Dragon to wag his finger. Oh? What's this? You volunteer to spar with me every night this week? How kind of you, mouse. Naruto got the message and shut up, the other ANBU in various degrees of vindictive pleasure after losing money. Then let's go, bruises won't form themselves. Meanwhile a certain Sannin was in the doghouse as he and Tenzo were giving reports to the Hokage in his office. Jiraiya, I know you're worried about this Akatsuki group but messing with the seal isn't the answer. Sarutobi chided, though he himself was tempted to allow it. Konoha had dark days ahead and a fully trained Jinchuriki would act as an effective war changer and deterrent, even if most his time would be spent with his ANBU squad. However, messing with a seal not even Jiraiya understood fully would be foolish, best to wait and see what Naruto and Kurama would agree on while mastering his current output. Tenzo, you and Jiraiya will continue Naruto's Jinchuriki training like planned, while the Kyumo spy attempts to find out from the Hachibi Jinchuriki about his training. So far he just let slip something about beating your darkness but nothing specific. With any luck I'll be able to neg, yes, Sensei/Hokage-sama, the duo bowed together and left, leaving Sarutobi to his thoughts. He felt a familiar presence, and a man he both trusted and didn't trust hobbled through his door. Danzo, right on time, what's your update? The one-eyed mummy looked grave as he sat down. Orochimaru has agreed to give me the Hokage seat if I agree to pass on council and war intel while holding Root back during the invasion. It is as we feared, Suna and Oto are now official allies and will be striking the third stage with their Jinchuriki. I suggest we assassinate the boy now and no. If Konoha struck first beyond what we're doing and gets caught, we'll be unable to call on new allies. Kyumo is meeting with me next week to discuss an alliance against this Suna-Oto plan, but I doubt they'd risk it if they caught a whiff of murdering a Jinchuriki before Suna betrays us officially. Sarutobi sighed at his old rival's disappointed look, and decided to give him some good news. On the bright side, however, I am assigning ANBU to take out Suna's next shipment of weapons and bring them to us. They rely on the land of birds for their kunai and shuriken of all sizes. Sources claim next week they'll be sending the normal C rank to escort the caravan. If Konoha steals their supplies, it will hinder them for the exams, and give Konoha the needed boost, yes. No survivors will be left either. Since they're preparing for a war their shipment is larger than normal, enough to outfit most our shinobi. And they say you're going soft, Hiruzen. Tell me, though, is it true IWA is sending 3 teams? Danzo asked. It would not end in their favor if Inoki was able to watch the finals. Yes, unfortunately. I abhor having to rely on your route that I ordered disbanded, but I must ask, do you have any route teams capable of preventing IWA from advancing past the second round? Danzo looked shocked at the blatant request but nodded. I'll have 6 teams ready, will they also be able to take out the Kiri team that is coming? Yes. I want only Konoha, Oto, and Suna in the finals. Having the two enemy Kage where I can monitor them will give us a better chance. Very well then. Here is a mission for Kabuto that will allow him to overhear the Chunin patrol schedule for the exams, not that we won't alter it, of course. Sigh, thank you old friend. But even if we know everything about my old student schemes, these old bones might not be able to weather the storms ahead. Danzo said nothing and got up, leaving without a glance back. You're right old monkey, we're both frail, but I won't let Konoha remain weak like it has. After you're gone, the great tree will rise from the ashes. Plans of his betrayal towards both his allies in mind, the war hawk made his way home. However, Sarutobi was not blind, and knew his rival all too well. Danzo, one way or another you will die after Orochimaru is taken care of. I only hope I can be the one to do it. It's the least I can do after my failures. The Hokage took another drag on his pipe and gazed at a certain seal carved on his desk, praying he'd be able to activate it before he died. With Kabuto. Kabuto Yakushi hadn't survived as a spy for so long without picking up the snippets of intelligence from conversations. That's why on this routine hospital supply run the trader was careful to channel chakra to his ears at all times as he passed groups of Chunin. Ah, Chunin, the village's gossip core. They were known to spread every shred of intelligence amongst their ranks without thinking and were known to let the tongue slip while Kabuto was in hearing range. And to switch the guard rotations? Wasn't the zigzag pattern bad enough? I know, man. Now I have to memorize the figure-8 pattern. Damn Chunin exams, why do we have switch it up for the foreigners? Kabuto smirked and continued on his way. Stupid Chunin, now he knew what to ask Danzo or better yet just break into the Chunin archives. No wonder his master wasn't afraid of Konoha finding out. The Chunin disappeared around the corner before puffing away, revealing two ANBU agents silently congratulating themselves on their way back to HQ. Next morning, Naruto's apartment. Naruto grumbled and winced at his stiff muscles while stumbling to his door that rung at 5 in the morning. If something's not on fire, my intruder is dead. Opening the door with a kunai in hand, ninja are paranoid after all. Naruto blinked at his visitor. Ferret-senpai, what a surprise. He said blandly. Ferret was a honey-colored male in his late 20s, known to be a stuck-up and rarely gave Naruto two glances. To see the masked man shifting uncomfortably in his doorway just didn't sit well with him. Okay, who died? Mouse, I have a favor to ask. Naruto eyed him and let the man in, activating his newly installed Privacy Seals 2.0, his last line of defense against Guy's late-night shower operas. The bushy-browed man had no sense of key or tone. At 5 in the morning? Yes. It's about my long-term mission with the Kurama girl. I was tasked with a mission that requires my use of speed and genjutsu. Dragon-sama told me you were village-bound for a few more weeks, so babysitting a brat shouldn't be a problem. I'll only be gone a week. Naruto mentally cursed his commander but on the outside just nodded. I take it I'm to spend the week at the location? Who else is on the detail? Ferret visibly relaxed at his willingness. To medic Nin. The girl stays in her room most of the days, and I usually am able to train during her daily medical checkups. Dragon-sama wanted you to have this scroll with the specifics. Naruto accepted the red mission scroll and waved his senpai away. In an annoying swirl of leaves the older ANBU was gone. Damn, why doesn't more ninja learn to use Shunshin without tells? Reading the scroll had him snort. So the girl can't use chakra, they claim? And she's too sick to run off. Wow, what a boring job. At least Jiraiya-sama and Tenzo will be stopping by to help me channel Kurama's chakra to single parts of my body. Hey, Kurama. The girl we're guarding shares your name. Whatever, leave me be. What's got you grumpy? Humph. Why couldn't he be like father? He's like every other human, filled with darkness. He's unworthy of more power. Kurama closed the connection. He was wrong to get his hopes up, if Naruto's inability to conquer four tails was any indication. No human is without darkness, not since father. Sighing at his tentative friend's mood, Naruto gathered up his gear and overnight supplies. Angel was still sleeping when the blonde sealed up his Fuinjutsu scrolls. He still had 50 prisoner scrolls to make. Hey, Angel. Time to get up, we have a mission. He prodded his partner who just rolled over. Go away, Naruto. Stupid mission, I can't walk far yet. It's for a week and we'll work on Genjutsu. She still didn't move. If you don't come, I'll let Hikaru watch you again. That got the cat up and she was already clambering up his leg. With a laugh, Naruto picked up his partner, locking his apartment up tight for the week and leaving Hikaru a note to feed his plant and eat his food. If only he knew how to make a cold storage seal for food. Where are we going? The cat asked as Naruto combined shunshin and bursts of speed to make their way towards the mountains. He smirked under his mask. Angel was so curious once she woke up. Just a private home of a member of the Kurama clan. Angel started drooling. As in the Genjutsu clan? Yes, but her powers are supposedly sealed, so don't bug her about it, okay? He hardened his voice a bit to get his point across. Angel puffed her cheeks and settled on his shoulders. Got it. Did you bring my tuna salad cans? All 50 of them, Naruto assured her. She preened. Good. At the Kurama place, an hour later. We weren't expecting you for at least another hour or two. I'm Dante and this is Rio. One of the medic Nin greeted from the house's front room. His fellow ninja Rio bowed, looking exactly like his associate but with brown eyes while Dante had black eyes. Oh, sorry, but I'm just quick, I guess. I'm Mouse and this is Angel. Naruto rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Dante eyed him. It's been a while since I was in the village. I didn't know there was an ANBU so short or young. I'm perfectly able to guard Yakumo Kurama, I assure you, Naruto spoke stiffly. Dante blushed in embarrassment. Excuse my rudeness, I'm sure you're more than strong enough. Anyway, let me introduce you to Yakumo, she's in her room. Upstairs. Dante knocked on a door with various seals that would let them know who entered and who left. Not hearing a reply, Dante looked apologetic before entering, Naruto close on his heels. Inside was a girl around Naruto's age painting a picture of Kurenai Yuhi with light going through her chest. Slightly uneased, he pushed on as he heard his name. And Mouse with his ninja cat will be taking Ferret's place for the week. Yakumo-chan, look at people when they're talking to you, please. Yakumo scoffed but complied. She eyed Naruto, who was shorter than her. He doesn't look like much. Whatever, another warden in my prison. Yakumo-chan, I assure you he's not a warden. We're here for your own good. Now, why not come outside your room for breakfast? No thanks, was her curt reply. I'll start making rounds, Naruto told Dante, whom he pitied. The medic looked embarrassed at the first meeting and nodded. Angel, stay with Yakumo-san and let me know if anything happens. Angel sneers but lets Naruto set her down on a pillow. If you'd like I could help heal her leg some more, Dante offered. Naruto grinned beneath his mask. That would be appreciated. Angel, behave. The hell cat wrinkled her nose again. Fine, Mouse. Walking outside to create a patrol route for him and his clones, Naruto hid his amusement when his chakra-laced ears heard Angel's failed attempts to start a conversation. Naruto and Angel padded along the forest floor surrounding the Kurama hideout, moon a ghostly orb above. Every trap was set and unactivated, and his clones reported no disturbances. So why was all his hair up straight? Angel was tense as well below him. Nicking his thumb with a kunai, he runs through some hand seals. Summoning jutsu, he whispers. Akira appears, serious when she takes in her summoner's posture. Do you sense that? Naruto signed. He'd taught Akira and Hisoka how to read his signs, well, sort of. They were still learning but picked it up faster than him. Akira closed her eyes in concentration and nodded. Weird, I know. That aura. An ID. It's active under the full moon. Kurama muttered, his first contact in days. An ID? Naruto asked. Figure it out, but hint, it's not a danger to you. Yet. Just go back to your pointless guarding. Naruto scowled but relaxed. Even if Kurama was being an ass, he wouldn't lead Naruto into trouble. Turning to an intense-looking Akira, the blonde shook his head. False alarm, sorry. You can go back, I'll summon you for sushi after my rotation in 2 days, he promised. Akira grinned as she shakily translated it and headed back home. He looks at Angel. We're done here, the shadow clones will wake us if needed. The tired duo heads inside to their temporary lodgings in the room above Yakumo's, a hatch poised to open for quick entrance through the floor. Naruto lay on his futon, still in complete uniform, pondering his charge. Yakumo Kurama, just turned 13-15 days ago, parents dead in a house fire and her genjutsu sealed away. Her eyes are so empty, why? It bugged him to see someone his age be so depressed and yet so angry with everything. Kukuku, Naruto bolts upright with a kunai in hand. A malevolent chakra pulses below him and in an instant he's in Yakumo's room with the medics. Please, stop. Mother, father. Don't hate me, she whimpers, though it becomes clear she's asleep. Dante administers another drug before turning to Naruto. Sorry, Mouse, sometimes Yakumo-chan's chakra seal activates, especially on a full moon. Nothing to worry about. Naruto tilts his head. Is it an ID, Dante? The medics stiffen and turn cold. It would be best if you drop it. There should be no more disturbances, go back to sleep. Naruto wants to argue, but technically Dante was in charge, so he shunshins back through the open hatch. Hey, what was that? It was scary, scarier than when you use Kurama's chakra, Angel whispered while ducked under a table. He'd ordered her to stay back before he'd left. Something dark, something no one wants to talk about, it seems. It's probably the reason Yakumo is up here. Anyways, let's get to sleep. Tomorrow I have to compress the chakra in my fingers. For the last 5 days Naruto would leave clones along with his captains henged would clones before going into the woods nearby and setting up a chakra barrier for 3 hours, practicing narrowing down where Kurama's chakra filtered through. So far he was succeeding, but the strain left burns if maintained longer than a few minutes. Naruto suspected Kurama wasn't as free with his chakra as before but didn't dare ask. Next day, Naruto watched as Yakumo sat on a swing outside in her bathrobe, apathic loathing set in stone on her pasty face. He technically was supposed to be an unseen shadow, but Yakumo reminded him of himself when he was younger, she just didn't hide it like he did. Why are you so angry? He asked from a branch. The girl scowled up at him. Why not? I've been locked away and my parents died, what's there to be happy about? Well, you're alive, aren't you? He questioned with a shrug. Really, he didn't like those who refused to move on, at least she had parents at one point. Humph, and for how long? How long before I'm ordered to be put to sleep? To stop existing? No, there is nothing to be happy for. Just be invisible like the other ANBUs that come here, unseeing and uncaring. She turned her head. Naruto didn't know what to do, so he further broke protocol. His captain would have an aneurysm if he ever found out. Are you allowed visitors? Yes, but no one comes, they treat me like a plague. Then I'll come visit. He said after a moment. Yakumo eyed the blonde in suspicion. Why would you do that? What could you get out of it? Naruto shrugged. I don't know, a friend perhaps? Or nothing at all. Either way, may I come visit you sometimes? He landed on his feet and lazily walked back next to his charge. As she stepped into her room, the pale girl paused. You can come. But don't think it means we're friends. She huffed before slamming the door. Naruto stood frozen with a smile. Of course not. Why? Why what? You promised to see the girl. Why would you, a cold-blooded killer, do that? I am not cold-blooded, and it's because I can help keep her from being completely alone. Kurama roared. Why do you care, Naruto Uzumaki? Your heart has darkness, so what does another creature's feeling mean to you? Or do you deny your own black heart? Kurama wasn't expecting an answer. Stupid fox, of course my heart has darkness, everyone's does, especially those in the shinobi life. You admit it, therefore you're tainted, you cannot help the girl. That's where you're wrong. It's human fate to have darkness, then stop pretending to be good. But, it's human nature to fight against the darkness and come out on top. That's what it means to be human, to still be decent despite your past and pains. Kurama was stunned at what he heard, but slammed against his cage. You don't understand, he was pure, why can't you be? Just leave, and the fox cut off the connection, leaving Naruto to his thoughts as he went on patrol. Next day, Ferret arrives back. You promise? Yakumo stated and held out a pinky. Naruto nods and offers his up as they hook them in a promise. I promise, it won't be for a while or that often with the Chunin exams coming up, but I'll make it out here occasionally. Like I care, she declares in a 180 and stalks inside. Ferret arrives as the door closes and turns towards his younger comrade with bandaged arms and neck. Thank you, Mouse, I'll take it from here. Dragon-sama wants you in his office tomorrow at 5 am. Great, no breaks for me. Naruto hung his head and set off through the trees to catch dinner and some relaxation. Meanwhile, Iwagakure. Deidara cackled as he flew away from his battle with Inoki, his new hands already an extension of himself. That will show him to deny me, stupid Inoki, trying to make me a future Kage and then saying I couldn't get that Kenjutsu until I took the hat on him. To be a Kage is a desk job, not enough art. Though, where should I go next? Deidara voiced his thoughts aloud as his bird soared. I know. Fire Country could use some explosions to match its name. The new missing ninja altered his course with a grin. Inoki looked on in annoyance as his ex-apprentice flew away with a kenjutsu he was using as a bartering chip to retire. Around him buildings burned and so far 20 were injured from their battle, though none died. Still, Deidara defected, and with his rank in crime, he'd be branded an S-rank criminal. Deidara, you were always too crazy for your own good. I shiver at the thought of you joining our enemies. Dragon's office, next day, crack of dawn. You summoned me, Dragon-sama? Naruto stood at attention as his commander sat back with a random piece of paperwork. The man looked up after a moment and threw Naruto a scroll. Your squad members Wolf and Cat just returned from apprehending Suna's shipment of weapons and has increased our supply, blaming missing ninja. However, Konoha's armory plant is where? He looked up expectantly. Near the graveyard, sir, the most dead piece of land in our country besides the Kyubi sealing site. It's southwest, towards Bird Country. It's a target of Suna, isn't it? Most likely, yes. Jiraiya taught you shock tags and other simple security seals this past week. You will be traveling to the plant today to set up various traps and seals to prevent any theft. Meanwhile, your captain is already there rerouting the paths leading towards the plant. You have 3 days there along with 2 days travel time. Jiraiya will arrive on the last day to check over your work, so don't mess up. The seals and instructions in that scroll will create a barrier seal that you can link to the head jonin there. Yes, Dragon-sama. Naruto turned to leave and pick up Angel from the locker room on his way out. Oh, and Mouse? One of those prisoner scrolls saved an ANBU on the Suna mission. Good work, Dragon said in a monotone, but Naruto could tell it held a smidgen of pride. No problem. Anything for my comrades. Your Shunshin and water jutsu still suck though, he added on. I love you too, Commander. Naruto said dryly and left before Dragon could ruin the moment even more. The graveyard, 23 hours later. Combining endless Shunshin and chakra channeling, Naruto and Angel arrived at the plant by 4 am. Activating his ANBU tattoo and giving the hand signal, the blonde and cat are led into the main building, smoke billowing out of the towers in the background. The graveyard, battleground of the Seven Tails Jinchuriki and Hiruzen Sarutobi in the Second War, was nothing but rock land for half a mile radius, and resembled earth rather than fire due to Sarutobi's infamous reshaping of his battlefields. The Jinchuriki had died in the battle, and the resulting pulse of demonic chakra prevented any greenery from growing for years, and the plant's presence kept it that way in the present. Surrounding the area was a dense forest with a single well-kept path that enemy shinobi not used to Konoha terrain would use to judge the way to the armory. To counteract this, Tenzo was busy playing God with the earth and rerouting it to a fake plant, really an ANBU outpost more than equipped to deal with Suna sabotage efforts. Inside waited 3 other ANBU in standard black robes who Naruto hadn't met before, and the head jonin, Takara Noera, a man with bored brown eyes and an unassuming face. Even his hair was a muted brown that stuck flat. ANBU agent, code name Mouse, here to set up defensive measures, Naruto greeted neutrally and bows slightly. Takara bows back and clears his throat. Mouse, yes, we weren't expecting you for another 3 hours at least. No matter, you have 4 hours of rest. After that you will be under Falcon here. An ANBU that vaguely looked like a bird inclined her head in hellos. ANBU weren't too enthusiastic in greetings. Well, unless you were Hikaru. Or Naruto on a sugar rush. That too. Where you'll be given access to the armory to strengthen our security. Naruto bowed even as Takara turns abruptly and heads away. Naruto's fellow Black Ops members stand impassively, staring him down. Naruto stared back. These were some of the ANBU sent on long-term assignments, much like Ferret. Contrary to what most civilians and foreign ninja believed, Konoha's ANBU operated throughout all the continent undercover, maintaining order and running the spy network. It was common for ANBU to be given assignments like this one, low combat, high importance but quiet, for 6 months or more to wind down after being in the force for longer than normal, a way to still be useful and stay sharp, but prevent breakdowns from pressure. Like Itachi Uchiha. Naruto shivered when he recalled the story Yugao had told him about the prodigy that tarnished Squad Row's name. Welcome, you know I am Falcon, these two are Walrus and Penguin, sleeping quarters are down the hall. Falcon signed. Naruto inclined his head, curious as to why. They didn't talk as this was basically the equivalent of off-duty but followed suit. I look forward to working with you. Naruto signed back and headed there. Angel, who kept quiet, glanced back at our new co-workers with puffed-out cheeks. I don't like them, Angel declared as they lay down on the stiff bunk. Naruto chuckled. And why not? They haven't done anything. Exactly. I like Ro better, even Hikaru is preferable to these cardboard guys. Naruto quirked an eyebrow. Cardboard guys? Yeah, you know, because they have no personality. When will we be back with our own squad? I don't know, Angel, soon though, I hope. He didn't say it, but he too missed being with his friends on missions. Just then his captain stumbled in and face planted on his respective bunk with a groan. Hey Captain. Naruto turned his face slightly. Tenzo just waved a limp hand. Would Captain. You're here. Angel soared over the distance and landed on the man's back, eliciting a hiss. Go. Away. Please. Angel just purred and stretched out for a nap. Next day. Why did you summon me here? Akira demanded from atop Hisoka when she found herself not called to a poker game, Naruto's apartment, or place of dining, but in a rock wasteland with a factory. There weren't any enemies around to beat up either. You wanted to be summoned, well I need you two's help. Take these seals to the top of the smoke towers and place them there, they apparently dissipate the smoke more to make it less visible. Akira scowled once she translated. It was bad enough her summoner insisted on signing as much as possible even when not needed, but to ask her to dirty herself for a chore? Hell no, get a shadow clone or better yet you do it. Naruto winced, as he really didn't want to do it and his clones could fail by running out of chakra while climbing, and he really didn't want to explain to Jiraiya why his dissipation seals fluttered away on the wind. An idea struck after a few moments of panic. Then I guess Pakken was right, panthers really don't like high places. I understand, I'll make it. His hand is stopped by Akira tackling him down and grabbing the bag with the stack of tags in her jaws and slings it over her body. She hops back onto Hisoka and glares at Naruto. I'll show that mutt not to underestimate me. Let's go Hisoka. They speed off while Naruto and Angel sniggers. That was priceless. The cat managed between laughs. Naruto agreed. Let's get to work. Falcon is waiting to walk us through the perimeter for trap setting. Does this mean we have to come back a lot to fix them? Angel grumbled in distaste. Naruto shook his head. No, they'll have these ANBU keep them in working order after I teach them how and others will come to change them. Now be silent, I have a feeling talking is out with Falcon. Final day. Turns out Naruto was right. Falcon was the silent type, not even Walrus and Penguin have heard Falcon's voice and the three had been on this mission for 7 months. Even sign was out unless a pointed question was asked. As Naruto double-checked the barrier set up and other measures of defense before Jiraiya showed up, he rolled his eyes at the thought of how bland Falcon was. God help him if they were ever put into a squad together or ran another mission. Ah, Mouse, I would like to thank you, Takara smiled at him. The man was bland but kind, and Naruto already liked him. He reminded him of Tenzo, who had headed out yesterday. Thank you, it was no trouble. I also made these up for you. Naruto passed off a scroll containing different seals for the plant. The blonde had made them up when he saw how sparse the place was in the tag department. Takaru curiously channeled chakra into the matrix, and over 100 sealed tags ranging from larger explosives to privacy seals and even a duo of prisoner scrolls for an injured comrade just in case popped out. Naruto rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Most of those I had made already and I just added to it. This costs a small fortune. Nah, the supplies are a fraction of the cost and I get a 30% discount on everything related to the creation of Fuinjutsu anyways. Plus, my commander would want our armory to be well protected, and those might either save your lives or at least make them easier out here. He motioned towards the privacy seals, so I hope you enjoy them. Dragon-sama will reimburse me anyways. Takaru seals them back up and bows. Thank you anyway, Mouse. After a few moments Takaru heads back inside, leaving Naruto and Angel alone to their checks. Oh ho, good work Gaki, Jiraiya chirps from behind. It takes all of Naruto's self-control to not jump or scream but instead turn towards his tutor. Angel didn't have that self-control. Hiss. Don't do that, she orders an amused Jiraiya. The Sannin just chuckled. Is the kitty cat afraid? Jiraiya teased. Angel continued to glower while Naruto face-palmed. Jiraiya-sama, please tell me you've been verifying my work so we can go home. It was poker night tomorrow and he wanted to get back in time to take the metaphorical candy from the invited Chunins and arrogant clan heads scheduled to show up. Yeah, Gaki, I checked it all out and we're good to go. Art is an explosion. Deidara was just going to keep flying over the building in the middle of nowhere as there wasn't many around to appreciate his art, and he really wasn't a mad bomber as most of IWA always claimed him to be, but then he spotted the infamous Jiraiya the Toad Sage. The thrill of such a fight had the X-Explosion Corps captain drooling. Grinning at the fact that he could battle and then escape after he had his fun, Deidara shouted down at the man who would learn to appreciate his art. And the random ANBU joining him. Art is an explosion. Deidara gave a cheeky grin as Jiraiya spotted him. As an introduction he released some clay spiders. Landing on the ground nearby, he shouted, "Katsu!" And small explosions littered the ground. He didn't aim for the building he recognized as the armory because while Deidara was cocky, he wasn't stupid. Konoha might appear weak and forgiving to the civilian side, but IWA knew. Konoha was a sleeping giant. If the plant got damaged in his fun, Deidara would find himself being chased relentlessly by the strongest of the five. So, he'd just lead them away and then make everything go kablooey. Turning his bird slightly he flew off, smirking when the pair followed him, dodging his creations along the way. With Naruto and Jiraiya. "He's mocking us," Jiraiya growled in annoyance while batting away one spider before it set off. Naruto rolled his eyes behind his mask at the stupidity of Jiraiya's decision in the situation, following a potentially deadly enemy while letting the other ANBU stay behind as, "Me and the Gaki can handle it," ludicrous. Deidara, will show you chumps the true meaning of art, was the distant call once they were a distance away from the plant. Their formerly mystery assailant began lazily circling them moments later, and the bombs were starting to become more deadly. Covering Jiraiya's behind while the man failed at making his few long-range jutsu hit, a crazy idea hit. "Jiraiya-sama, vault me up, Angel, let's try our wind combination too," Naruto spoke and motioned for Angel to hang on. "Wait, what?" Jiraiya sputtered as he himself was about to summon Gamabunta, but it was too late. Naruto channeled a burst of chakra to his legs, and ran up to the Sannin, planting his feet on the back, before leaping high in the air. Once the ANBU reached a respectable height he went through multiple seals. Wind style, great breakthrough, and a wild blast of wind was released towards the soaring clay bird. Angel, from atop Naruto's head, filled her lungs and blew. A steady but weak stream of fire barreled into the chakra-enhanced wind gust, the flame spreading and managing to hit the bird on the tip. As the bird faltered, Deidara toppled off and his creation turned towards the human-cat pair. Normally, Hellcat fire techniques were ineffective until adulthood, and angels were worse than most. Fire took a chunk of chakra and cats never had as much as humans. However, when a Hellcat partners with a wind user, especially one who could create torrents of wind with a high D-rank jutsu, that weakness is nullified. "Ha! Take that ponytailed man," Angel crooned as their opponent fell towards the earth. Problem was, so were they. "Shit," Naruto cursed. The only option to remain unhurt would be focus a great breakthrough at the ground then create shadow clones to catch their slightly slowed descent. Of course, Deidara's bird had other plans than to allow that. It dive-bombed them and Naruto's eyes widened and it started glowing. "Katsu!" Deidara screamed and Naruto twisted his body while snatching Angel to his chest. He might die, but Angel could survive the blast. Summoning several shadow clones they piled on him to slightly cushion the attack. Waiting for the pain that never came. "What the?" Naruto muttered as his body was yanked away by a slimy tongue. "Can't have my apprentice die too early. Jiraiya the Valiant, will take it from here. This crazed small fry is of no importance." Jiraiya thumped his chest from atop an oversized purple toad. Both cat and boy sweat dropped, and Deidara followed soon, landing on a clay animal several feet away. "Oi, don't diss my art," the bomber said indigently. "Try this, my C2 dragon." As Deidara lands on a pile of clay animals, he puts a wad of clay between both hands. Soon, a massive dragon forms and roars, Deidara hopping on and aiming its snout towards Jiraiya and Naruto. The dragon opens its mouth and smaller versions burst forth in pursuit of the two. Other, smaller dragons emerge from the tail. Gaki, you and Miss Kitty distract those creatures while I take out the user. Jiraiya ordered seriously for the first time since Deidara mocked them into following. Naruto nodded and made several clones that took off around the field. Oh, girly man, I find your art so childish. Naruto called and taunted cheekily. Deidara roared. You little brat, go, my children, turn the unbeliever into art, Angel, hold on. Naruto said as the dragons focused on them. Drawing his Chukoto, he cut several smaller bombs in half and rebounded off backwards in a single-handed handspring before they explode. Landing several meters, he continues dodging. 4 medium-sized dragons congregate on the pair. At the same time, the ground erupts from a hidden explosive. Yes. Taste my beautiful art, because all art is an explosion. Katsu. The 4 go off as one, and only a Kawarimi with a shadow clone stops Naruto and Angel from becoming barbecue. Hey, you okay? Angel asked after her ears stopped ringing. Naruto grunted and held his side. I should be fine, it's just a few ribs, but I hope Jiraiya does whatever he has planned soon. He muttered. Jiraiya and his toad had disappeared sometime during Naruto's distraction. Creating several shadow clones, all of the Naruto run through the hand seals, wind style, great breakthrough, create a barrier from other clay bombs. Hundreds of booms surround the makeshift wind barrier. Angel covers her ears and Naruto shifts, ready for more. Deidara chuckles next to his now tiny left-over dragon. You survived, eh? Then it's time to. A barrier rose up to stop the chakra flow and the crazy man collapsed in a heap, Jiraiya posing triumphantly from behind. Never fear, my young apprentice. The great Jiraiya the gallant just saved the day. No one can stand against this handsome devil. Naruto rolled his eyes from behind his mask and limped over. You could have ended that before it even started, Jiraiya-sama, the blonde groused. Now I have to replace my armor, and Angel's ears are damaged. Vet bills aren't cheap, you bastard. You're paying for it, he demanded. And pointed an accusatory finger at Jiraiya, who was attaching several seals to Deidara's back. Shut it, Gaki. Sure, I could have knocked him out as soon as he landed, but making seals capable of shutting down the explosion release takes time. It's not my fault you can't dodge worth a damn, Jiraiya said flippantly. Naruto prepared a comeback when the other ANBU landed around them. We have secured the base. Falcon signed. Orders, Jiraiya-sama. Keep on alert. Me and the Gaki have this bigger Gaki under control. My spy network just got word of his defection, he'll be taken in for interrogation. Falcon nodded at Jiraiya's words. Safe journeys back, Falcon replied, and the 3 disappeared once again. Naruto sighed as their chakra signatures left. Couldn't even say bye to me? Jerks. Shut it, human. Your whining annoys me. Sorry Kurama, hey. You're sounding better. Naruto thought happily. His sort of almost friend spoke to him without prompting in an almost civil tone. TSK. That fight was pathetic. Naruto's sweat dropped. Maybe we're not improving after all. Toss me a prisoner scroll, Jiraiya's voice interrupted his musings. In a fluid motion Naruto threw the sage the roll and Deidara's body vanished inside. Surprised, Naruto caught it back. I'm sending you back before me in case this was a premeditated attack. I'll add a few more barrier seals and clean up the evidence before meeting you in Konoha. Are you okay to travel? Jiraiya looked mildly concerned at the side. Yes, I'll be fine. Naruto assured before holding out his hand. What? Pay up. If you were quicker then Angel wouldn't have been hurt. With a growl Jiraiya tossed a purse of Rio. That should cover the cost. You know, you're too protective of that cat. How do you expect her to be a partner if she can't fight? I thought Hellcats were supposed to be masters in combat. Naruto bristled as he unsealed some bandages and wrapped Angel's ears. She isn't ready for this level of combat. One day she'll be stronger than any other of her kind. But until then I'll protect her. Now, good day and don't goof off on your way home, he spoke curtly before using several consecutive shunsins away. Konoha, later. Naruto landed in front of the gates the next evening, ribs still fusing together. Damn, why can't they heal faster? He mentally grumbled. Kotetsu noticed the ANBU entry but didn't try to make light conversation when he noticed Naruto carrying Angel. What happened? Kotetsu asked, spotting the blood stains seeping through the bandages and Naruto's slightly burnt and ripped armor. Explosion, its burst eardrum and a damaged one. She'll be fine after a visit to Hana. Naruto clipped while signing in. Honestly, he would have sedated his partner and put her into a scroll, but the cat glowered at him when he suggested it through sign. She was quite adamant to stay awake and alert, and Naruto didn't want to incite her ire later for such a minor injury. Oh, well, good. Say, will you be at the next poker game in a couple of days? Gate duty is dull enough and watching you wipe the floor with newbies is always a joy. Maybe, Naruto said after a moment. Though Kotetsu and Izumo were eternal Chunin, they were actually Jonin level in strength. A village couldn't trust weaklings to guard the gates. However, putting on a militaristic view didn't attract tourists and warned potential enemies. So, having two laid back, whining, but deceptively weak, Chunin, at the desk protected the village and kept Konoha's image of peaceful intact. Most Jonin recognized this and put up with the pair for the various bar nights, poker games, and occasional party. Izumo tried to add his 2 cents in but Naruto had already took off towards T&I before the first word was spoken. 5 minutes and a surge of his chakra for identification later Naruto was admitted to Konoha's interrogation and intelligence building. Figuring Ibiki would be the better choice to keep Deidara alive during interrogation, he knocked on the infamous man's door. "Come in," a gruff voice commanded. Peeping in he saw that Dragon was there as well, and Naruto stepped in quietly and stood at attention. "Oh, Mouse. What are you doing here?" Ibiki questioned. Naruto took out the scroll. "Jiraiya-sama and I captured a recently missing ninja, Deidara of IWA, after he arrived at the armory plant. Deidara has the explosion release and kenjutsu that augments it." Jiraiya-sama sealed away both his chakra and the kenjutsu after a brief battle. Dragon hummed. "Tell me everything," Dragon ordered. "This can count as your oral report." 2 hours later. Hana had healed Angel's ears rather easily, though not before lecturing the pair on letting their guard down when in confrontations. Now the pair trudged up the stairs towards bed. Well, really Naruto trudged. Angel just snoozed on his head when Kakashi opened his door. "Ma, Naruto, back from your mission?" he asked with an eye smile. Naruto glowered. "No, I was just out for an evening stroll," he deadpanned while pointing to his uniform. "Oh? Then you won't mind training my genin tomorrow, right?" "Great, thanks. All the Jonin sensei are holding a joint training tournament tomorrow at noon in Training Ground 3, and you can run the traps course." "Hell no," Naruto said immediately. "I'm off duty tomorrow. Train your own brats, senpai." Ma, you are supposed to be helping to train them." "I'll be away tomorrow, so thanks for the favor, Ja-ne." And he puffed away, no doubt to re-enter his apartment from the window. Sigh, why me? Will I ever get a day off? Naruto pulled at his hair. Entering his apartment, he sets Angel down on the couch and plops down on the floor to undo his armor. A deep breathing from his room has a kunai already charged with chakra in his grasp. Creeping towards the door, Naruto slides it open, eyeing the darkened room for intruders. What he found, though. Hikaru. Get the hell out of my apartment. I repeat, what are you doing in my apartment, sleeping in my bed? Naruto tried again when it became obvious Hikaru was still half asleep. The older teen blearily sat up. Oh, Chibi Kohai, I wasn't expecting you back until tomorrow, he greeted. Naruto's hand rested on a seal placed on the wall. Just a burst of his specific Kyuubi chakra and hundreds of kunai would launch from a series of traps and converge on the futon and skewer Hikaru alive. Senpai, you have 3 seconds to start explaining why you're here and not in your own apartment, or I will try out my new home security trap seals on you. Naruto threatened. Hikaru gulped. Heh, no need to get hasty. See, my apartment is infested with rats, so I had to move out for the next week. We're roommates now. Hell no. Why aren't you at HQ? The dorms are there for a reason. Naruto rubbed the bridge of his nose. Dragon Team kicked me out for having no regards for tidiness, whatever that means, and the captain and Yugao said you wouldn't mind. Just, how can a Hyuga be so un-Hyuga-like? Naruto questioned when the shock caught up to him. Your apartment is so messy that rats invaded, the dorms aren't capable of housing you, and everybody is pawning you off to me. The youngest, Naruto pointed an accusatory finger at his friend, who upon closer inspection had several articles of clothing, books, and weapons laying around. Well, I refuse to let you be this way, Hikaru. While you are here you will be neat and tidy, but cleaning is boring. You're just like Hayashi-sama, you don't understand that my apartment is like a canvas of art and art is messy. Naruto shuddered in remembrance of his last mission. I won't tell you how to keep your canvas, but this is my canvas and I happen to like seeing the floor with the use of the Byakugan. Clean this up while I'm in the shower or I'm telling Guy you want to room with him. Instantly Hikaru was cleaning the whole apartment, while a shadow clone of his dusted. A thought came to his mind. Hey, Hikaru. I'll sleep on the couch tonight, as a reward for you actually cleaning. Next morning. Naruto stretched lazily at 9 in the morning, and slowly took off the ear plugs from both his and Angel's ears. The cat mirrored his stretches. Naruto. She purred at him as she received a back scratch. Did we actually get to sleep in? Yep. Hikaru just begged to be Guy's training partner today, so who were we to refuse? Naruto chirped. Angel blinked. Huh. Naruto chuckled. Don't worry about it, let's go on a run before breakfast. We don't have to be at the training grounds until noon. He bit a thumb through his mask and did the summoning jutsu. Akira and Hisoka appear with dual yawns. What's the big idea, calling us so early? Akira mumbles. Oh, just a proposition for you. Naruto replies easily. Noon, training ground 3. Naruto strolled into the grounds to find a very irritated Kuranai, Asuma, and crying Guy, while the genin worked on various exercises. Naruto, you're late. We've been here since 7 this morning, you were scheduled to start your traps and obstacle course 2 hours ago. Kuranai lectured in a chiding tone. Asuma snorted. Why are you surprised? Kakashi has been trying to make him a clone of his, lateness is just a part of it. Wosh. My youthful neighbor. Let us reignite your flames of youth. Hikaru washed in the flames of youth this morning. You do well to follow his example of youth. Guy kept rambling until Kuranai whacked him. Kuranai turned towards Naruto but he held up his hands. Listen, I'm sorry for being late, senpai told me noon, swear. Kuranai relaxed and Asuma's sweat dropped. Damn Kakashi, let's see how he likes a henged him leading a crusade against Ika, he muttered. After a moment he looked back. Oh, sorry. Anyways, gather your students up and I'll start the exercise. Wait, but don't you need to prepare? Asuma asked. Naruto shook his head. No, let's just say a few friends of mine setting up the forest. Okay then. Hey everyone. Come over here, Asuma called and the genin gathered around. Confused looks from everyone but Team 7 came when they gazed at Naruto standing among their senseis. This is your next instructor, Naruto. He's filling in for Kakashi today. Naruto eyed his former classmates wearily. He'd dressed in his off-duty gear, without the flak jacket or headband, both were stored in a scroll on his hip pouch though. Overall he didn't give the impression of a ninja. Good, he smirked inwardly, he wanted to see their faces when his former tormentors and classmates realized he wasn't dead last anymore, even if they didn't find out he was a ninja now, much less a chunin in ANBU. Oi, what's the failure doing here? Akamaru could beat this brat. Right boy? Akamaru yipped at his master's boasting, but Naruto kept a blank face. The others started questioning him. And Naruto, why are you teaching us T-traps? Hinata asked with a blush. Naruto eyed her. Because I am proficient at them and they have helped me in the past. You 12 will be completing a mission, so to speak. My partner, a young hellcat named Angel, is napping somewhere in the training grounds. Your objective is to find her and bring her back safely. There will be opposition from some of my summons as well, but you are to disarm or avoid setting off any traps on your way to and from. Hinata blushed when he looked at her and she turned away. Whatever, loser, me and Akamaru will beat this course all by ourselves. Kiba boasted. Naruto chuckled. Too bad, your captain is Sakura, any insubordination will be punished severely. Forehead's the leader? No way, Sasuke-kun is the strongest, he should lead, Ino insisted, but looked over at Team 7. Sakura looked like this was normal, it was, as Kakashi-sensei and Hikaru-sensei had made her lead due to her brains and support role, while Sasuke gave a grudging shrug. He had to admit, letting Sakura come up with the plans enabled him to get more experience fighting. It's troublesome, but I agree with Ino that Sakura isn't the best choice. And you failed the academy so you are not our superior. Sakura looked ready to correct him but silenced her with a look, one Shikamaru caught. Sigh, too bad. I'm your teacher today and I assign Sakura as the captain. Follow her orders like you would on an ANBU or Jonin squad. Shikamaru narrowed his eyes slightly at the analogy but assented. Now, you have 30 minutes to plan before my summons will start attacking. Though knowing Akira she'll begin in about 10. Time runs out at sunset. With that Naruto pulled out a kunai launching tag Jiraiya had taught him. He wanted to expand the effective range from 10 meters to at least 15, it's just fitting the expanded matrix on the same sized paper was proving difficult. Plopping on the ground he shooed his former classmates away. Wosh. My eternal rival, we shall complete this task or I will run around Konoha 50 times on my hands. If I can't do that then I'll climb the Hokage mountain with my teeth. Lee would have continued if Naruto didn't look up, deep in thought about his seal problem. Sorry Lee, what did I miss? Lee and Guy face faulted while the other Jonin sweat dropped at Naruto's obviously accidental echoing of Kakashi. Ever since Guy began training him, Naruto and Lee had become sort of rivals, though it was more Lee trying to rope him into a contest and Naruto refusing each time. Curse your hip and cool, Naruto. Lee cried. Neji, who had worked to keep quiet as wasting his breath on losers was beneath him, grabbed his teammate and dragged him towards the group of genin. Neji would make the Haruno relieve command to him, the genius, and then they would beat the failure Naruto's course. With the Byakugan it would be easy, even if the boy did have summons. Naruto watched them go and turned back to his work with a smile. Say, Naruto? He looked up at Kuranai. Yes? They're going to win with 2 Byakugan, an Inuzuka, and an Aburame, are you sure you don't want to do something else? And putting Sakura of all people, Naruto glared sharply. I'm sorry, senpai, but you forget, I have a Hyuga on my team, but my youthful student is a prodigy, Guy pointed out, only to grow confused at Naruto's snort. He may be good for a genin, but Hikaru is a decade ahead of him in both ninjutsu and the Byakugan, despite being only 2.5 years older. Hikaru is a real genius, even if he doesn't flaunt it. In my position, I learned enough traps and how to use them in ways that make the fancy Kekkei Genkai your students rely on useless, as you will see. As for leadership, I picked Sakura because she's intelligent, stronger than most of the other genin now, and has experience in my tests. What about Shikamaru? I know you keep tabs on your old classmates, you know he has a high IQ and is a master at shogi. Humph, he gives up, and I'd bet he'd even quit in the finals for the Chunin exams if he believed it too troublesome. Also, he's weak, while with Sakura, even Hikaru is becoming nervous with her use of Senbon and tactics. Though, I still don't expect them to win. Not when Akira is so motivated, he mused. Asuma took a puff. And what did you promise that insane feline? He asked, remembering the challenge between Kakashi and the blonde. Said blonde rubbed his head sheepishly. Oh, nothing. Just that, if she kept the genin from even reaching Angel, I'd teach her how to activate exploding seals. She's very eager now. Just then Kiba's scream and later yell of damn cat. Who would pick the devil's summon? Naruto, Yoch. Stupid tiger, made the gathered wince. Wow, only 27 minutes early. I didn't expect her patience to last that long. With Kakashi. Our favorite copy ninja crouched low in a deserted alleyway, still even after 6 hours of waiting. Dragon and Tenzo were next to him. Stay still, Dragon signed in annoyance when Tenzo shifted just a bit. Keep waiting, it shouldn't be long now, IWA is supposed to be sending their Jinchuriki this way. Remember the plan. Kakashi gripped his knees, really hating this plan. Konoha, in all her wisdom, decided that since IWA had been confirmed to sending a small aid in force to Konoha in hopes of destroying them, that one of the Jinchuriki they'd be sending, Han, should be taken out of the picture. Intel from a certain ANBU inside IWA who worked at Han's favorite dango shop, confirmed the Jinchuriki was headed towards the western border for a simple assassination mission. Too bad he wouldn't make it. After all, the commander, a Sharingan user, and a Wood-style user against a Jinchuriki was hardly a fair fight. And if his death was quietly blamed on Kyumo so that they'd have to focus on Konoha's rival? All the better. Kakashi just hoped his little brother/student was handling his genin okay. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. Guys, make sure to help the author by visiting the link in the description. This is Fox Sage, and I'm signing off.